Does God hear your prayers? Today in our devotional, we find out how that happens. And this is the confidence we have toward Him, that if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. 1 John 5:14. Jack says the confidence we have because we're in Christ is that of a member of a family. Think about children. When they come and ask for something, do they expect it? If they are like my children, they will wheedle, persuade, hint, suggest, or sometimes even cry when they want something. But our Father in heaven doesn't need to be persuaded like that because He already knows our needs and is most willing to help us. There is, however, some fine print that is pretty basic to prayer. On the one hand, there is the promise that God hears you and you can be confident of that. But on the other hand, there's a clarification. If you ask according to His will, this implies that the very center of your prayer life, your life in general, is seeking the will of God. It's easy to forget. The natural thing to do is to take your anxieties and your doubts with you into prayer in such a way that you're more anxious when you finish than when you first started because you would not surrender them to God. Surrendering them to God is not an easy thing to do all the time. You can't pray effectively or boldly and daringly unless you renounce your own way and try to find God's way. Let me assure you, God is not reluctant to show it to you if you will surrender. Now, the interesting thing about this is that surrendering your anxieties to God is not an easy thing to do, okay? Because what we have to see is that our life is given over to God. And so we see the circumstances in our life as bringing us to a dependence upon God. And when we give our anxieties over to God, what we're really doing is giving our life over to God and to find out what it is He wants us to do rather than what we want to see Him do in our lives. And when you do that, then you find yourself in a situation where you see things completely differently. So to see the circumstances differently. And so when you pray, you're really praying for God's will to be done in your life.